Hey everyone, it's Justin and welcome back to my channel. Today I have an A7 size birthday card using some of my favorite scrapbook.com products that I wanted to share with you all. For this project, we're going to be using the Party Animal Stamp Set by scrapbook.com, featuring the outline and the solid image portion of the balloon animal. We're going to start by using some mixed media paper in the A2 pad in the white color, and I'm going to use this for the stamping paper for my project. Now I'm cutting each of these directly in half, so I'm going to be able to maximize my paper space as best as possible. Using my rose quartz MISTI, I'm going to go ahead and get my first animal into place. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to grab the outline portion of the balloon animal from the Party Animal Stamp Set and line it up on this panel in a position where I can maximize the amount of space that's needed to get as many balloon animals as possible. Now I'm going to go ahead and pick up that stamp with my MISTI door, and I will be able to keep my stamp in the same position as I'm stamping all of the different colors. So we're going to start by stamping out the Limoncello color of Catherine Pooler inks. I do like to stamp these images just a couple times to ensure maximum coverage. Of course, the more you stamp, the darker the image is going to get as well, so just keep that in mind what you're stamping. I will then rotate my panel, and I will be able to then stamp my balloon animal for a second time, getting two images on one half-piece sheet of paper. I have sped up the rest of my stamping just as you're getting the fundamentals of the process right now. So all of my inks are Catherine Pooler, so the next color I will be using is Catching Rays. Following Catching Rays, I'm going to go ahead and stamp out the minted color on both sides of my half sheet of paper. After minted, we're going to use It's a Girl and get that stamped out twice for the panel. Following that, we are going to use 16 Candles, which is going to be our final color that we'll be using for our project, and then we're going to be working on the outline portion. So we're going to get that all stamped out, and then we're going to position the outline of the balloon animal stamp. This layers directly on top of the image, so you will be able to position it directly overhead. Then you can pick it up with your MISTI, and we are going to stamp that outline in Grape Crush that's going over that 16 Candles color, and I can just rotate my panel and that stamp is already nice and in position. We're going to use Party Dress on top of the It's a Girl color, rotate our panel, and get our second balloon animal outline all taken care of. Now for minted, we're going to use the Aquatini color, stamp that out. Now do keep in mind I am cleaning my stamps between each impression just to minimize any sort of cross-contamination of color. So we're going to finish out with that Aquatini, and after we have that stamped out, we're going to use Orange Twist on top of the Catching Rays color. I almost made a mistake and stamped it in the incorrect position. That would have been not so fun, but I did correct it in time. We'll rotate our panel, and then we'll go ahead and stamp it out a second time. Now to finish off our stamping, we are going to use the Glitz color on top of that Limoncello ink and rotate that panel and stamp out our final balloon animal outline. Now, because balloon animals do have a reflective quality, I am going in and giving some highlighted accents using a Sakura Jelly Roll pen. This is the number 10 size, and just to get those nice accents. Next, I'm going to be using the Happy Birthday Rub-On Transfers along with the mixed media paper pad. This is still that A2 sized in the white color. And I am going to be using the sentiment that says Happy Birthday. And I am carefully selecting my sentiment because I'm going to be pulling out a die set in a second where it's really going to help us out with our crafting. So I am going to put this into place on a white piece of mixed media paper. All of the rub-on transfers by scrapbook.com do come with a popsicle stick, which helps you adhere the rub-on transfer to your medium. So I'm going in and just really carefully making sure that I get everything nice and applied to that white mixed media paper. I'm going to slowly remove the acetate to reveal my happy B-Day sentiment, and then I'm going to grab my party animals shape dies, which work perfectly with both the stamped out images from party animals, and that happy B-Day sentiment also has a stamp from the party animals that is the exact same size from the happy birthday rub-on transfers, so I can use the outline die for that sentiment as well, which is going to cut it out perfectly for my project. So I'm going to go in, I'm going to cut this out. What you're not going to see is I am going to cut out each of my balloon animals as well. I just didn't think you wanted to watch me processing it through my die cutting machine 10 more times. So just know that off camera, I did get everything nice and die cut. I'm grabbing this confetti pattern paper from the birthday pattern paper collection. I am using the 6x8 size, and the reason for that is I wanted to make an A7 size card. A7 is a 5x7 card, so I am trimming my panel down to fit that 5x7 panel. I love making oversized cards, so I really thought that using that oversized panel from the 6x8 pad would work nicely. I'm using the white liquid splatter watercolor from Picket Fence Studios to add a little bit of extra shimmer to my confetti background as well. So I'm just kind of watering it down and splattering it on the panel. As you can see, those extra splatters really catch the light nicely and add a little bit of extra sparkle to your project. I'm using my Misty Precision Glue Press now to arrange each of my balloon animals to my project. I'm just sort of figuring out how they're all going to fit together. I'm trying my best to use up the colors so they're not too many of the consecutive colors next to each other. So like I don't want my purple animals to be directly near each other. Now I'm going in to grab my yellow, keeping it further away from the yellow animal that's already on there. I'm also trying my best to fit these together so not all of my balloon animals are facing in the same direction as well. I want this to look kind of like an unorganized cluster, and I really want to keep those different colors as separated as possible. Now, keyword as possible. You kind of got to work through it as you're crafting. I'm going to use my scissors now to trim off my edges of any of the balloon animals that are off the sides of the card, but I am going to use some of those little bits to fit extra colors of balloon animal segments onto my panel. It makes it look like I created more balloon animals than I actually did, just by using some of those little scrap bits and bobs together. So as you can see, I'm just sort of figuring those little pieces out and fitting them in nicely onto the project. I'll then go in once again with my scissors and trim off the excess. Now I do decide after I get all of my pieces into place that I want to trim down my card about 1/8 of an inch on each side. This is going to create a really nice frame effect when I adhere it to my white card base. So I'm going in, I'm trimming 1/8 of an inch off the length of the card and the width of the card to provide that nice sort of white frame. I had a little piece of an orange balloon animal that came off, so I do have to go in and re-adhere it. So I go in and I fix that. And next I reach for the 3mm large foam squares. I put these on the back of my Happy B-Day sentiment and they fit really nicely. I don't really have to cut any of them down, which really is music to my ears. I'm going to go ahead and remove the backing to my adhesive squares and then work on positioning that sentiment as center into my card as I can get it. I love the way that Happy B-Day sentiment pops, and I love how all of the colors from the B-Day sentiment coordinate with the colors that we're using for our project as well. So once I have my sentiment perfectly into place, I go and I grab some clear glitter enamel dots by Pink and Main. I absolutely love the Pink and Main collection of enamel dots. They have some great glitter options. They have some amazing metallic glossy dots. Be sure to check them out if you haven't. I have a large selection of Pink and Main enamel dots that I adore. So I put them into place. I think the clear glitter color is just going to work really nicely to give some extra sparkle to this project. I use my Misty Precision Glue Press to go ahead and get my panel adhered to my card base. Do you clock that white thin border along the panel as well? Ugh, I love it. So, and there we have it. This card is all completed. Thank you all so very much for stopping by my channel today. I hope that this birthday card brings a smile to your face, and also I hope it brings a huge smile to whomever you send it to celebrate their big day. Now, if you haven't yet, don't forget to like and subscribe for more inspiration inspiration that I'll be sure to send your way. And I want to take a moment once again to thank you so much for stopping by the Just a Note by Justin YouTube channel. Have a great day. Goodbye.